Hello and welcome to the Sleepy Science. I am happy to see you here. Today we discuss the why light has a speed limit, so let's start without wasting your time.
Close your eyes and breathe slowly. Tonight, we drift not through dreams but through the very fabric of reality. We'll follow a single beam of light as it journeys across the universe, touching time, space, gravity, and the limits of possibility. Why does light move at the speed it does? And why can't anything go faster? This is the story of universal rule, written into the very bonus of existence. So settle in, soften your thoughts, and let's begin with the very first whisper of the cosmos.
The universe's first messenger. Light is the oldest traveler, carrying whispers from the dawn of time. You watch its journey, unstoppable, unwavering, across the silent dark. But why can't it go faster? Why must even light obey a cosmic rule? Tonight, you follow its golden path, back to the beginning of everything. There is a moment, just before sleep takes you, when the world softens at its edges. The lamp on your nightstand glows warmly, its light reaching your eyes in an instant, a journey so fast you never think to measure it. But that light, that simple golden beam, is part of a story much older than you, older than the earth itself. It is a story that began when the universe was newborn, and it continues now, as you lie here, breathing slowly, listening to the quiet. Light is the first language of existence. Before there were words, before there were sounds, there was light, racing through the emptiness of space, carrying information from one corner of creation to another. It does not hurry. It does not dawdle. It moves at exactly 299,792 kilometers per second, a speed so precise, so unchanging, that the universe itself seems to hold its breath in deference. But why this number? Why not faster, so that distant stars could whisper their secrets to us sooner? Why not slower, so that sunsets might linger for hours in crimson and gold? To understand, you must imagine light not as a thing, but as a traveler, one who has been walking the same road since time began. Close your eyes and picture the universe in its infancy. It is not the vast, star-sprinkled expanse we know today, but a seething, swirling ocean of energy, so dense, so hot, that light cannot move freely. Photons, the particles of light, are born and immediately swallowed, bouncing endlessly between matter like fireflies trapped in a jar. For 380,000. This is how it is. The cosmos is a glowing fog, opaque and shimmering, until at last, expansion. Space stretches. The universe cools. And in that moment of cooling, something miraculous happens. Matter and light decouple. Atoms form, and photons, finally free, stream outward in every direction. That first burst of liberated light still travels today. We call it the cosmic microwave background, the afterglow of creation. If you could tune your eyes to see it, the entire sky would glow faintly with this primordial light, the oldest picture ever taken, a self-portrait of the universe at just 380,000 years old.
But light wasn't just a messenger, it was a sculptor, shaping the canvas it traveled across, revealing that space and time weren't fixed. They were alive, and so we step into the mysterious wave.
The unbreakable rule. Once light is free, it obeys a law deeper than gravity, older than time, nothing can outrun it. Not a thought, not a comet, not even the expansion of space itself. This is not a suggestion. It is not a guideline. It is the foundation upon which reality is built. Einstein called it the speed limit of the cosmos, and it is written into the fabric of spacetime. Imagine the universe as a vast, silent loom. Space is the warp, time is the weft, and light moves along the threads at the only speed that keeps the tapestry from unraveling. If light could go faster, cause and effect would crumble. A star might explode before it was born. A message might arrive before it was sent. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, chose order over chaos. A photon's journey. Now, let your mind drift alongside a single photon, one that left a distant quasar when the universe was young. For billions of years, it has traveled, unerring, unyielding, past galaxies and black holes, through dust clouds and magnetic fields, never slowing, never speeding up. To you, its journey seems impossibly long. But to the photon, time does not exist. At the speed of light, time itself stops. The moment it was emitted and the moment it touches your eye are the same instant. There is no waiting, no distance, only the eternal now. There is something deeply comforting in this. Light does not grow weary. It does not rush. It moves at the pace the universe demands, steady as a heartbeat. The light you cannot see. Not all light is visible. Some photons arrive as radio waves, whispering secrets from the cold voids between galaxies. Others come as X-rays, sharp and insistent, telling of supernovas and neutron stars. Still others are infrared, warm and drowsy, carrying the heat of distant planets. But all of them, every single one, move at the same speed. The light from your lamp, the light from the sun, the light from galaxies so far away that their light is older than the earth, all of it obeys the same rule. The whisper at the edge of sleep. And so, as you lie here, the light from your window takes 8 minutes to reach you from the sun. The light from the nearest star, 4 years. The light from the Andromeda galaxy, 2.5 million years. And the light from the edge of the observable universe? Over 13 billion years. Yet all of it moves at the same speed, as if the universe were saying, "This is the way. There is no other." You might wonder, what if space itself could bend? What if there were folds in the cosmic fabric, places where light might take a shortcut? But that is a question for another night. And as your eyelids grow heavy, the universe continues its silent work, weaving space and time into a tapestry where light, always and forever, is the thread. The fabric of space and time. Imagine the universe as a vast, gentle river, bending under unseen currents. Light glides along its surface, a leaf carried by the water's will. Einstein's whispers remind you, speed is stitched into the fabric of reality. And so, light dances at the only pace the cosmos allows. There is a hush that comes over the world when you truly think about space, not just the black emptiness between stars, but space as a thing, a presence, something that can bend and stretch like the surface of a quiet pond. Close your eyes and picture it, the universe is not just a container. Container for planets and galaxies, but a living, breathing fabric, delicate as silk and strong as gravity itself. This is where light travels. This is where time unfolds. And tonight, as you sink deeper into the warmth of your blankets, you begin to feel the shape of it beneath you, around you, holding you as gently as a hammock sways in the evening breeze. Einstein called this fabric space-time, a single, unbreakable weave of where and when. It is not flat. It is not rigid. It moves, it breathes, it curves under the weight of stars, and light, always light, follows its contours like a dancer tracing the steps of an ancient, unchoreographed ballet. To understand why light cannot go faster, you must first understand this fabric, this invisible stage upon which the entire universe performs. Imagine, for a moment, that you are holding a stretched bedsheet between your hands. Place a marble in the center, and the sheet dips slightly beneath its weight. This is what a star does to spacetime. It creates a gentle well, a slope that nearby objects naturally roll toward. Now, roll a smaller marble across the sheet. Its path bends as it nears the depression, circling once or twice before continuing on its way. This is gravity. This is why planets orbit stars, and why light, though it has no mass, still finds its path altered when it passes something heavy. The universe is full of these curves, these invisible hills and valleys, and light has no choice but to follow them. But here is the mystery: light does not slow down when it climbs these hills. It does not speed up when it descends into the valleys. It moves, always, at exactly the same speed, 299,792 kilometers per second, as if the fabric itself were whispering, "This is the only way." Why? The answer lies in the nature of space and time themselves. They are not separate things, but two sides of the same coin. When you move through space, you are also moving through time, and the faster you go through one, the slower you must go through the other. Light, traveling at the cosmic speed limit, does not experience time at all. A photon crossing the universe from your perspective takes billions of years, but to the photon, the journey is instantaneous. It does not age. It does not wait. It exists in a single, eternal moment, touching the beginning and the end of its path at once. This is the heart of Einstein's revelation: the speed of light is not just a measurement. It is a fundamental property of the universe, woven into the very laws that allow reality to exist. If light could go faster, time would lose its meaning. Cause and effect would unravel. The past might influence the future before it had even happened. The universe, in its quiet wisdom, set a limit, not to confine, but to preserve. Now, let your mind drift deeper into the fabric. Picture a black hole, the heaviest thing in existence, a place where space-time curves so steeply that not even light can climb back out. Here, the rules you know begin to twist. Time slows to a crawl for an outside observer, while for someone falling in, it would seem to pass normally, until the very end, when the stretching of space becomes infinite and time itself stops. But light, even here, does not break its vow. It still moves at the same speed, fighting against the pull until the last possible moment. There is something beautiful in that, something poetic. The universe can warp, it can bend, it can tie itself into knots, but light remains constant, a single unwavering note in the cosmic symphony. And what of empty space, the vast stretches between galaxies where gravity's touch is faint? Here, too, light obeys the same rule. The expansion of the universe can carry galaxies away from one another faster than light could ever hope to bridge the gap, but this is not light breaking its limit. It is space itself stretching, growing, carrying galaxies along like leaves on a widening river. Light still moves at its set speed through the water. It is the river that has grown too wide to cross. As you lie here, half dreaming, you might wonder, if space can bend, can it fold? Could there be wrinkles in the fabric, shortcuts from one place to another? The mathematics of the universe allow for such possibilities, wormholes, theoretical tunnels through spacetime, but they are fragile things, collapsing as quickly as they form. Even if they existed, light would still refuse to break its ancient rule. It would take the long way around, the patient path, the only path the cosmos has ever allowed. And so, the fabric stretches on, cradling galaxies, guiding light, holding the past and future in its weave. You are part of this tapestry too, your own small weight bending spacetime around you in ways too faint to measure. Every breath you take, every beat of your heart, sends ripples through the fabric, infinitesimal but real. The night is deepening now, and your thoughts grow softer, slower. Somewhere above you, light from a distant star is just now arriving after centuries of travel, finally reaching your eyes at the exact speed the universe demands. You do not see it. The window is closed, the curtains drawn. But it is there all the same, a whisper from the dark, a reminder that the fabric connects all things. And as you drift closer to sleep, the last thought that lingers is this: if space and time are a tapestry, then what hand holds the needle? The question fades into the quiet, and for now, there is only the gentle pull of sleep, and the faint, unshakable sense that somewhere beyond the darkness, the universe is still weaving, still spinning, still writing its story in light. The speed of thought, the speed of light. Close your eyes and picture a star, its light has already traveled so far to meet you. Yet, in your mind, you reach it instantly. Why can't light do the same? Why must it take its time? The answer lies in the delicate balance of energy and existence. There is a quiet magic in the way your thoughts can leap across the universe. Close your eyes, think of the North Star, and in an instant, you are there, not in body, but in mind, your imagination crossing the gulf of space faster than any physical thing could hope to travel. Light, though swift, takes years to make that same journey. The photons now reaching your eyes from Polaris began their voyage when you were younger, when the world was different, when you were still becoming who you are now. Light carries history in its beams, but thought carries no such weight. It is free, unbound. And yet, for all its speed, your mind cannot truly touch the star. It cannot feel its heat, cannot stir its plasma, cannot bend its light. Thought is a ghost, slipping through the cosmos without leaving a trace. Light, though slower, is real. It carries energy. It warms your skin. It paints the world in color. Why this difference? Why must light, the swiftest thing in the universe, still lag behind the speed of thought? The answer begins with the nature of light itself. It is not just a thing that moves, it is a ripple in the very fabric of reality, an electric and magnetic wave pushing itself forward like a whisper through a crowd. These waves cannot go faster because they are tied to something deeper, the permittivity and permeability of space itself. These are not just scientific terms, they are the universe's way of setting the rules for how energy moves. Imagine space as a vast, still pond. Light is a ripple on its surface, and the water's properties dictate how quickly that ripple can spread. No matter how hard you try, you cannot make the ripple move faster than the water allows. Space itself is that water, and light obeys its limits. But thought is different. It is not a wave. It is not a particle. It is a dance of electricity and chemistry in the labyrinth of your brain, leaping from neuron to neuron in milliseconds. When you imagine the North Star, what you are really doing is summoning a memory, a pattern of neural connections that once formed when you looked at the night sky. Your mind does not travel to the star. It recreates it, like a painter pulling a scene from memory onto a canvas. Thought is not bound by the speed of light because it is not moving through space at all. It is moving through the private universe of your mind, where the rules are softer, stranger, and entirely your own. And yet, for all its freedom, thought cannot change the physical world. You can imagine the North Star as vividly as you like, but its light will still take 323 years to reach you. You can picture the sun exploding, but unless it truly happens, your skin will still feel its warmth 8 minutes from now. Thought is a mirror, reflecting the universe but never altering it. Light, though slower, is a handshake, a direct touch across the void, carrying energy, delivering news, shaping reality. This is the trade-off. Light is the universe's way of ensuring that nothing happens too quickly, that cause always comes before effect, that no signal can outrace the fabric of spacetime itself. If light could move at the speed of thought,
To understand light's cosmic space, we must follow its steps in a grand belly, where energy penetrates into mass and mass bows back into light.
the cosmos would lose its order. A supernova's blast might reach us before its light, leaving us blind to the danger. Planets might feel gravity before their star's light arrived, as if the universe were haunted by invisible forces. The speed of light is not just a limit, it is a covenant, a promise that the universe will always play fair. And so, as you lie here, caught between waking and dreaming, you exist in both worlds. Your thoughts race ahead, unbound, dancing among the stars. But your body remains here, anchored to Earth, waiting for light to bring the universe to you, one photon at a time. There is beauty in this balance. The speed of light ensures that the cosmos has a rhythm, a pace at which stories unfold. The speed of thought ensures that you can wander beyond your body, if only for a moment. Together, they make you both a prisoner and an explorer. A creature of flesh bound by physics, and a mind set free by imagination. And as you drift closer to sleep, the boundaries blur. The stars in your mind and the stars in the sky begin to feel like the same thing. The darkness behind your eyelids deepens, and for a moment, you cannot tell the difference between the light you imagine and the light that is still traveling. Somewhere, a photon is crossing the void, carrying a message from a star that may no longer exist. And you, half dreaming, are the only one waiting to receive it. The dance of energy and mass. Light is pure energy, weightless and free, yet bound by an invisible chain. A flame flickers, a galaxy spins, all humming the same quiet law. E equals mc squared is not just an equation, but a lullaby the universe sings to itself. And you, listening, begin to understand the cost of infinite speed. Imagine holding a piece of sunlight in your hands. Not the warmth, not the glow, but the sunlight itself, the very stuff of its being. If you could weigh it, you would find something extraordinary. It has no weight at all. Light is energy made visible, a ripple in the electromagnetic field, and yet it carries no mass. It is the closest thing to pure existence the universe allows, unburdened by the anchors that hold planets in orbit or keep your feet on the ground. And yet, for all its freedom, light cannot escape the most famous equation in the world, E equals mc squared. This is not a cage. It is a revelation. A secret whispered between energy and matter, a dance that has been ongoing since the first moments of time. The equation is simple in form but infinite in meaning. Energy equals mass times the speed of light squared. What does that mean, truly? It means that energy and mass are not separate things. They are two faces of the same coin, interchangeable, fluid. A tiny amount of mass can become an enormous amount of energy, because the speed of light is a very large number, and squaring it makes it unimaginably larger. This is why the sun shines. This is why nuclear reactors hum. This is why your body, right now, contains the energy of countless stars, locked away in the atoms that build you. You are not just matter. You are energy waiting to be spoken. But light is energy that has already been spoken. It has no mass to convert, no hidden potential. It is already free. And this is why it cannot go faster. To understand why, you must picture the universe as a vast, silent marketplace, where energy and mass barter with one another endlessly. The speed of light is the exchange rate, the unbreakable rule that governs every transaction. If something has mass, it can never reach light speed, because to do so would require infinite energy, more than the universe contains. Light, having no mass, pays no cost to move. It is already at the limit, already perfect, already complete. Think of a child on a swing. The higher they go, the more energy they have, but no matter how hard they pump their legs, they can never quite swing in a full circle. The chains will go slack at the top, gravity will pull them back, and the arc will remain incomplete. This is what happens to matter as it approaches light speed. The closer it gets, the more energy it requires, until the demand becomes impossible. The swing will never flip over. The particle will never break the barrier. Light, meanwhile, is the child who let go of the chains entirely, soaring free, needing no push, bound by no limits except the speed the universe has set. And what of massless things other than light? Gravity, too, moves at light speed, as do the ripples in spacetime we call gravitational waves. They are all bound by the same rule, all humming the same quiet tune. The universe could not function if this were not so. If gravity moved instantaneously, the solar system would collapse. If light could outpace itself, the stars would flicker like broken street lamps. There is elegance in this constraint, a poetry in the way energy and mass balance one another. Now, let your mind drift to the heart of a star, where this dance becomes a tempest. Here, in the core, hydrogen atoms fuse into helium, and a tiny fraction of their mass is converted into pure energy, sunlight, starlight, the light that will one day touch your skin. This process obeys E equals mc squared perfectly. The star does not choose to shine. It must shine, because the equation demands it, because the universe has decreed that even the smallest loss of mass must be paid in light. And so, the star burns, not with fire as you know it, but with the slow, inexorable conversion of matter into energy, an alchemy that has lit the cosmos since the beginning. You, too, are part of this exchange. The atoms in your body were forged in stars, and though they now sit still, they hum with potential energy. If all the mass in your body were converted, not that it ever could be, not truly, it would release energy equivalent to thousands of nuclear bombs. This is not a threat. It is a testament. You are not just a collection of cells and
light, but every dance has its tempo. And in the great theater of the cosmos, there's traffic light that governs all movement.
sinew. You are a vessel of latent starlight, a temporary holding place for energy that has existed since the dawn of time. And light? Light is the currency, the universal messenger. The thing that bridges the gap between energy and mass, allowing them to speak. When you look at the stars, you are not just seeing distant suns. You are reading a ledger, a record of exchanges made billions of years ago. The light in your eyes is the final step in a transaction that began before the earth was born. As you lie here, breathing slowly, the dance continues around you and within you. The electricity in your nerves, the heat of your blood, the silent work of your cells, all of it is part of the same grand equation. The universe does not hurry. It does not waste. It transforms, steadily, perfectly, according to rules written into the fabric of reality. And somewhere, in the darkness between the stars, a photon is racing toward a planet it will never reach, carrying energy. Energy from a star that no longer exists. It does not know this. It cannot know this. It simply moves, as it must, at the only speed the universe allows. The night deepens, and the equations fade into dreams. Somewhere beyond your window, the cosmos continues its endless accounting, balancing energy against mass, light against darkness. And you, for now, are still. A momentary pause in the infinite exchange. The cosmic traffic light. If light could race faster, would time unravel? Would cause and effect blur? The universe, in its wisdom, set a limit, not as a wall, but as a guide. You drift alongside photons, learning patience from their endless voyage. Nothing is lost in the slowness, everything is found in the journey. Picture the universe as a vast, sprawling city, not of steel and glass, but of events, moments, and connections. In this city, nothing happens all at once. News travels. Influences spread. Causes must always come before effects, like a stone dropped into a pond sending ripples outward in perfect, predictable sequence. Now imagine if, in this city, some messages could arrive before they were sent. If a knock at your door came before the hand had even lifted to wrap the wood. If a fire could burn down a house before the match was struck. Chaos would reign. The city would crumble into nonsense. This is why the universe has a speed limit, not to constrain, but to preserve order. Light is the messenger of this cosmic city, and its speed is the traffic light that keeps reality flowing smoothly. The speed of light is more than just a number. It is the foundation of causality itself, the principle that cause must always precede effect. Without this rule, the universe would have no before and after, no stories, no history, no way to build from simple particles to planets to people. Every event would be a jumble, every moment disconnected from the next. Light speed is the thread that stitches time together, ensuring that no signal, no influence, no piece of information can outrun the fabric of reality. Think of it like this: when you turn on a lamp, the light does not fill the room instantly. It takes time, a fraction of a second, imperceptibly small to you, but real. If you could slow down time to a crawl, you would see the glow spread outward like a slow-motion wave, touching the walls, the ceiling, the pages of the book in your lap, one after another. This delay is not a flaw. It is a feature. It means that every part of the room receives the information: light is here now, in the right order. No corner is left in the dark while another brightens prematurely. The universe is patient. It takes no shortcuts. Now stretch this idea across the cosmos. The sun, 8 light minutes away, does not simply appear in your sky. Its light races toward you, minute after minute, and when it finally arrives, it brings news that is already 8 minutes old. If the sun vanished this very instant, you would not know until those 8 minutes had passed. This is not a limitation, it is a gift. It means the universe always gives you time. Time to react. Time to understand. Time to exist in a world where causes and effects are always, reliably, linked. But what if light could go faster? What if it could break its own limit? Then the threads of causality would snap. A supernova's explosion might be seen before the star had even begun to collapse. A spaceship could arrive at its destination before it had left home. The past could rewrite itself based on information from the future. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, refuses this chaos. It says, here is the law. Here is the speed. Nothing shall overtake light, for light is the keeper of time. And so, light moves as it must, steady, unwavering, the perfect cosmic clock. Even in the most extreme places, it obeys this rule. Near a black hole, where gravity bends space into a funnel, light may curve and twist, but its speed never changes. It fights the pull, straining against the abyss, but
What happens when you try to run that red light? What lies just beyond the reach of light at the very edge of what's possible?
it does not hurry. It does not slow. It is the one constant in a universe of variables, the one rhythm in a symphony of chaos. You, lying here in the quiet dark, are part of this grand synchronization. Your thoughts may leap ahead, imagining stars and galaxies, but your body is bound by the same laws as light. The signals in your nerves travel fast, but not infinitely so. The beat of your heart, the rise and fall of your chest, the flicker of your dreams, all unfold at the pace the universe has set. There is comfort in this. The world may feel unpredictable, but beneath the surface, there is order. There is a rule. There is a speed that nothing can surpass. And so, as you drift closer to sleep, let your mind wander the cosmic city. Picture the light from distant stars streaming toward you, each photon a messenger carrying news from the past. They cannot hurry. They will not slow. They move as they must, at the speed that keeps the universe sane. Somewhere out there, a star you see tonight may already be gone. But its light remains, traveling still, a final testament to the order of things. And you, here in the dark, are waiting to receive it. The darkness settles around you like a blanket, and for a moment, you can almost feel the universe breathing, in, out, steady as a heartbeat. Somewhere beyond your window, light is still racing across the void, chasing a horizon it will never reach. And you, half dreaming, begin to wonder, what happens when light meets the edge of the possible? The edge of the possible. Black holes swallow light whole, yet even they cannot make it hurry. At the brink of infinity, light still refuses to break its sacred vow. You hover at the boundary, where time stretches thin, and space holds its breath. What would it mean, to go faster than light? Would the universe forget itself? There is a place in the universe where the rules you know begin to bend, not gently, not poetically, but with the terrible grace of a bridge collapsing in slow motion. Here, at the edge of a black hole, light itself is tested. It strains against gravity's grip, fighting to escape, but it does not speed up. It cannot. Even as space stretches like taffy and time slows to a crawl, light moves at its same steadfast pace, 299,792 kilometers per second, as if the universe has whispered, here, even here, you must obey. A black hole is nature's ultimate challenge to light. It is a pit so deep, so hungry, that not even the swiftest thing in existence can climb out once it passes the threshold. Scientists call this boundary the event horizon, the point of no return. But light does not surrender easily. As it nears the edge, it does something extraordinary, it redshifts. Its waves stretch longer, its color bleeding from visible gold into infrared, then into radio waves, then into nothingness. It is not slowing down. It is being stretched, like a song played at half speed, each note pulled thinner and thinner until only silence remains. To an outside observer, the light seems to freeze at the event horizon, as if time itself has stopped. And in a way, it has. This is the paradox of light speed. It is constant, but the universe around it is not. Space can bend. Time can warp. But light? Light remains unwavering, even as the world distorts. It is the universe's true north, the one thing that cannot be bribed or bullied into breaking the rules. Now, let your mind drift closer to the black hole's edge. Here, the pull of gravity is so strong that light must travel in a photon sphere, a halo of trapped rays orbiting the abyss like moths circling a flame. These photons are not falling in, but they cannot escape either. They are caught in a cosmic limbo, a dance that could last until end of time. If you could stand in this sphere, though no flesh could survive, you would see back of your own head, as light loops around the black hole and returns to your eyes. The universe has become a hall of mirrors, and light is the only reflection. But what if light could break its speed limit here? What if, just this once, it raced faster, outran gravity, and escaped the black hole's grasp? The universe does not allow it. Not because it is cruel, but because it is careful. If light could outpace itself, causality would shatter. A black hole might wink out of existence before it had fully formed. Stars might explode before they were born. The delicate web of cause and effect, the very fabric of reality, would fray into nonsense. Light speed is not just a law, it is the glue that holds time together. And yet, the mind still wonders. What lies beyond the edge? What happens when light meets the impossible? The mathematics of relativity allow for hypothetical shortcuts, wormholes, tunnels through spacetime where light might, in theory, take a detour. But these are fragile things, collapsing under their own paradoxes. Even if they existed, light would not cheat.
There, at the boundary of speed and stillness, we meet a quiet constant, not just a number, but a cosmic whisper that says no further.
It would not take the shortcut. It would follow the long road, the honest road, the one paved by the universe itself. There is a lesson in this. Light does not resent its limits. It does not rage against the rules. It moves as it must, and in doing so, it becomes the universe's most reliable witness. When you look at the stars, you are seeing light that has traveled for years, centuries, millennia, light that has crossed oceans of space without cutting corners, without losing its way. It is a testament to patience, to integrity, to the quiet power of staying true to one's nature. As you lie here, half dreaming, you might imagine yourself at the edge of that black hole, peering into the dark. The light around you reddens, fades, but does not vanish. It lingers at the threshold, a final defiance. A reminder that some rules cannot be broken, even at the end of all things. And so, the universe holds its breath. Light holds its speed. And you, suspended between waking and sleep, hold the question, what happens when the impossible is all that remains? It darkens, deepens, and the black hole's edge fades from view. Somewhere beyond your eyelids, light still travels, through voids, through time, through the silent spaces between stars. It does not hurry. It does not falter. And as you drift closer to sleep, you begin to wonder, what other vows has the universe whispered? The quiet power of C. C is more than a number, it's the heartbeat of electromagnetism, the pulse of existence. Your radio, your eyes, the warmth on your skin, all move to its rhythm. There is beauty in its constancy, a reassurance in its unwavering rule. The universe could not sing without it. There is a number that hums through the cosmos, silent but omnipresent, shaping everything from the way stars burn to how your fingers feel the warmth of a cup of tea. It is not zero. It is not infinity. It is 299,792,458, the speed of light in meters per second, denoted by that simple, elegant letter, C. This is not just a measurement. It is a cosmic signature, woven into the laws of reality so deeply that to imagine a universe without it would be to imagine a world without time or space. C is the conductor of the electromagnetic symphony, the metronome to which every photon, every radio wave, every flicker of starlight keeps time. And tonight, as you lie here in the quiet dark, you are surrounded by its work. Think of all the light you have ever seen, the sunrises, the candle flames, the screens glowing in the night. Each one is a testament to C. When you turn on a lamp, electrons dance in the filament, and their movement creates electric and magnetic fields that ripple outward at exactly this speed. Not approximately. Not usually. Exactly. The light does not choose its pace. The universe chooses for it. This is why C appears in so many equations, from Maxwell's laws of electromagnetism to Einstein's relativity. It is not a variable to be solved for. It is the foundation upon which the math is built. But C is more than just the speed of light. It is the speed of causality itself, the maximum rate at which any influence, any signal, any piece of information can travel. When you speak into a phone, your voice is carried by radio waves moving at C. When you feel the sun on your skin, that warmth arrives at C. Even when you look into the eyes of someone you love, the light reflecting from their pupils reaches you at this same unchanging speed. The universe has decreed, nothing may outrun this limit. Not a thought. Not a gravity wave. Not a whisper between atoms. There is something deeply comforting in this constancy. The world may feel chaotic, unpredictable, but beneath the turbulence, there is order. There is a rule. There is a speed that never wavers. Imagine if C were different, if light sometimes dawdled, sometimes raced ahead like a child late for school. The cosmos would crumble into confusion. Stars might flicker like faulty street lamps. Your eyes would see events before they happened. The past and future would tangle like yarn in a kitten's paws. But C does not change. It cannot. It is the golden thread that keeps the tapestry of reality from unraveling. Now, let your mind drift to the quantum realm, where particles flicker in and out of existence in a probabilistic dance. Even here, C reigns supreme. Virtual particles, those fleeting ghosts of matter and antimatter, must obey the limit. Entangled particles, spookily connected across vast distances, cannot communicate faster than C. The universe permits no cheating, no shortcuts, no exceptions. This is not a limitation. It is a covenant, a promise that reality will always play fair. And what of the stars?
And yet, in that limit, there's something beautiful. A kind of immortality, a light that never fades, traveling endlessly across time.
They, too, sing, seize him. The sunlight that touches your skin left its source 8 minutes ago, traveling all that time at this exact speed. The light from Proxima Centauri, the nearest star, takes 4 years. The light from the Andromeda Galaxy, 2.5 million. But all of it, every photon, moves at C. The universe does not hurry. It does. Unfolds at the pace it must, and C is its heartbeat. You are part of this rhythm. The electrical signals in your nerves travel far slower than light, but they, too, are governed by electromagnetism, by the same forces that set C as the ultimate speed. When you dream, when you remember, when you reach out to touch the world, you are working within the bounds C has set. This is not a cage. It is a canvas. The laws of physics are the frame, and C is the brushstroke that gives them shape. As you lie here, breathing slowly, the universe continues its silent work. Radio waves from distant quasars pulse at C. Microwaves from the Big Bang's afterglow ripple at C. The light from your bedside lamp, the glow of fireflies outside your window, the faint starlight that has traveled millennia to meet you, all move to this same, steady rhythm. And somewhere, in the quiet between heartbeats, you can almost hear it, the universe's oldest song, played at the only tempo it knows. The night deepens, and the song fades into silence. Somewhere beyond your window, C still hums, in the light of stars, in the space between atoms, in the quiet pulse of the cosmos itself. And as you drift closer to sleep, you begin to wonder, what other constants are whispering in the dark? The light that never fades. As you drift toward sleep, light still travels, through telescopes, through dreams. Its speed is the thread weaving the past and future into now. You exhale, and somewhere, a photon crosses a galaxy, unhurried, unending. The universe keeps its rhythm, and you, small and infinite, are part of it. There is a moment, just before sleep takes you, when the boundaries between here and elsewhere soften, when the light from distant stars feels closer than your own breath. You lie still, eyes closed, and yet somewhere beyond your window, beyond the atmosphere, beyond the edges of our solar system, light is still traveling. It has been traveling for millions of years. It will continue long after. After you are gone. It does not pause. It does not tire. It moves, as it always has, at the speed the universe has ordained, steady, patient, endless. This is the paradox of light. It is fleeting in your grasp, yet eternal in its journey. A star may die, a galaxy may fade, but the light they cast goes on, carrying their stories into the infinite dark. Consider the light now entering your room. The glow of a street lamp, the flicker of a candle, the dim pulse of an electronic device, all of these photons are newcomers, fresh from their sources, barely a fraction of a second old. But shift your gaze outward. The light from the moon is already a second old by the time it touches your skin. The light from the sun, 8 minutes. The light from Sirius, 8 years. And the light from the Andromeda galaxy, 2.5 million years. When that light began its journey, humanity did not yet exist. The continents were still shifting. The earth was young. And yet, here it is now, arriving at last, a message from a time before memory. This is the magic of light's constant speed. It is not just a measurement. It is a time machine. Every glance at the night sky is a look into the past, a past that is still unfolding, still traveling, still racing toward you at 299,792 kilometers per second. The stars you see tonight are not the stars as they are now, but as they were when their light began its voyage. Some may have already vanished, collapsing into supernovae or fading into dwarfs, but their light lingers, a ghostly afterimage of what once was. The universe is patient with its farewells. And what of the light you cannot see? The infrared warmth of your blankets, the radio waves carrying songs from distant towers, the X-rays spiraling from black holes at the galaxy's core, all of it moves at the same speed, bound by the same universal law. There is democracy in this. A photon from a dying star and a photon from your reading lamp are equals in the eyes of physics. Neither can outpace. Neither can cheat the rules. They race side by side through the void, one carrying the last gasp of a celestial giant, the other the quiet glow of a single evening. Now, let your mind drift farther still, to the edge of the observable universe, where the oldest light of all still lingers. This is the cosmic microwave background, the afterglow of the Big Bang, stretched and cooled over 13.8 billion years into faint radio whispers. It is everywhere, this light. It fills the space between your walls, the air in your lungs, the gaps between your fingers. You cannot feel it, but it is there, the oldest story in existence, still being told, still traveling, still humming at the speed of light. It will never fade. It will only grow dimmer, colder, quieter, as the universe expands and stretches its waves into longer, weaker ripples. But it will never stop. There is something deeply comforting in this constancy. The world may change. You may change. But light's journey is eternal. The photons that left the first stars are still out there, somewhere, racing through the void. The photons leaving the sun now will outlive our planet, our star, even our galaxy. They will drift, endless and unchanging, through oceans of darkness long after every name we know has been forgotten. And you? You are part of this story. The light reflecting from your skin tonight, whether from a lamp, a screen, or a distant star, will continue outward long after it leaves your sight. Some of it may one day be captured by a telescope on a world we cannot imagine. Some may wander forever, untouched, through the infinite cold. But all of it will move at the same steadfast speed, carrying with it an echo of this moment, this room, this breath. As you sink deeper into sleep, consider this: the universe is not silent. It is not still. It is alive with motion, with light, with journeys that began at the dawn of time and will continue until time's end. You are both witness and participant. Your eyes have caught starlight that has traveled millennia to meet you. Your body has absorbed sunlight that raced 8 minutes across the void. You are, in this moment, connected to things immeasurably distant and ancient, not through magic, but through the simple, steadfast speed of light. And somewhere out there, right now, a photon is passing through a nebula, or bending around a black hole, or crossing the emptiness between galaxies. It does not know you are here. It does not know it is being thought of. It simply moves, as it must, at the only speed the universe allows. The night is deep now, and sleep is near. The light in the room fades, but the light beyond your window continues its endless voyage. And you, for this moment, are part of its story. The darkness settles around you like a second skin, and as consciousness ebbs, the universe continues its silent work, sending light, always light, across the endless dark. Somewhere beyond your fading thoughts, a question lingers: what happens when all the stars have gone out, and only the light remains? A flashlight in the cosmic dark. Turn on a lamp, and photons spill like honey, slow and golden. Their speed feels instant to you, but to the cosmos, it is a patient stroll. You begin to see, light's limit is not a cage, but a gift. Without it, the stars would have no stories to tell. There is a quiet miracle in the act of turning on a light. Your finger presses the switch, and instantly, or so it seems, the room fills with brightness. The glow reaches every corner at once, touching the walls, the floor, the open book on your bedside table. But this instant is an illusion, a trick of scale. The light is not truly appearing everywhere simultaneously. It is racing outward from the bulb at 299,792 kilometers per second, so fast that to human perception, it might as well be instantaneous. But to the universe, this is not fast.
Even now, that ancient light shines into our telescope and dreams like a flashlight cutting through the cosmic dark, guiding us home.
At all. It is a leisurely stroll. A cosmic saunter. The light from your lamp could circle the Earth 7 times. Now imagine a flashlight beam pointed at the night sky. The light leaves the lens and begins its journey outward, a narrow cone of photons stretching into infinity. Most will never touch anything. They will drift between stars, between galaxies, through voids so empty that a single atom is a rarity. They will travel forever, or until the universe itself grows cold and dark. A few, perhaps, will one day strike the surface of an alien world, where some strange eye might register their arrival as a faint, momentary flicker, a signal from a planet that may no longer exist. This is the fate of all light unclaimed by an observer, to wander, endless and silent, through the eternal night. And yet, this seeming loneliness is not a flaw. It is the gift of light's finite speed. If light traveled infinitely fast, the night sky would be a searing wall of brightness, every star's light reaching us all at once, the past and present crushed into a single blinding moment. There would be no depth, no history, no way to measure the universe's vastness. The stars would have no stories to tell, because all their light would arrive in the same instant, shouting over one another in a cacophony of now. Instead, light takes its time. The photons from Sirius have traveled 8 years to reach you. The photons from Betelgeuse, hundreds. The photons from the Andromeda Galaxy, millions. Each beam is a message from a different era, a different chapter of cosmic history, all arriving in an orderly procession dictated by light's steadfast speed. The night sky is not a snapshot. It is a library, each star a book open to a different page. There is intimacy in this slowness. When you look at the stars, you are not just seeing distant suns. You are touching the past. The light from Vega left when your grandparents were young. The light from the Orion Nebula departed before the pyramids were built. The light from the Whirlpool Galaxy began its journey before humans walked the Earth. Now, let your mind drift to the cosmic scale. The observable universe stretches 93 billion light-years across, but the oldest light we can see, the cosmic microwave background, is only 13.8 billion years old. How can the universe be larger than the distance light could have traveled in its lifetime? The answer lies in the expansion of space itself. The universe is stretching, carrying galaxies away from one another like raisins in rising bread. Light races through this expanding space, but the finish line keeps moving. Some galaxies are now so far away that their light will never reach us, not in all the eons to come. They are lost to us, not because light is slow, but because the universe is growing faster than light can bridge the gaps. This is the true meaning of light's speed limit. It defines the boundaries of our knowledge, the edges of our influence. We will never see those distant galaxies. We will never know their stars or planets. They are forever beyond our horizon, not by accident, but by the universe's design. Light speed is not a cage, it is a map, showing us what we can know and what we must let go. As you lie here, the flashlight beam of your thoughts grows softer, slower. The lamp on your nightstand continues to pour light into the world, photons streaming outward in an endless wave. Some will bounce off the walls and return to your eyes. Some will slip through the curtains and escape into the night. Most will be absorbed, their energy warming the air, the furniture, your skin. But a few, a precious few, will escape Earth entirely, joining the great river of starlight flowing through the cosmos. They will not hurry. They cannot. They will move at the speed the universe has set, carrying with them an echo of this moment, this room, this breath. And long after you are gone, they will still be traveling. The light in the room fades, but the darkness is not empty. It is full of journeys just begun, of photons setting out into the infinite. Picture this. You switch on a lamp. The light doesn't simply appear on the walls, it races there, filling the room at a speed that would circle Earth 7 times in a single second. And yet, on the scale of the universe, even this is slow. The nearest star to our Sun, Proxima Centauri, is so far away that its light takes 4 years to reach us. When you look at it, you are seeing it not as it is tonight, but as it was when that light began its journey, before you last blew out birthday candles, before you last changed jobs, before you last fell in love. The stars are not just points of light, but postcards from the past. Now stretch your imagination further. The light from the Andromeda galaxy has been traveling for 2.5 million years. That beam left when our ancestors were first shaping stone into tools, when woolly mammoths still roamed frozen plains. It has flown uninterrupted through eons, through the rise and fall of species, through wars and wonders, all to arrive here, now, as you lie in bed, half dreaming. The universe is constantly speaking to us in this language of light, if only we learn to listen. And what of the light we create? The glow from your bedside lamp, the flash of your phone screen, those photons too are now travelers. They rush outward at light's unbreakable speed, crossing streets, piercing clouds, escaping into space. In 100 years, some of that light will have traveled farther than any human spacecraft. In 1,000, it may pass by alien worlds. Your light, like every light, becomes part of the cosmic story. There is poetry in this constancy. Because light never speeds up or slows down, it becomes the universe's perfect clock, its perfect measuring stick. When astronomers look at distant galaxies receding from us, they don't see the present, they see the past fleeing at the speed of light. The Hubble Space Telescope's deepest images show galaxies as they were over 13 billion years ago, their light finally arriving just as our technology became sophisticated enough to catch it. It's as if the universe waited until we were ready to share its oldest secrets. But light is more than a messenger, it is a creator. Without light's finite speed, there would be no day and night, only an eternal, blinding now. The 8-minute delay for sunlight is what allows Earth to turn gracefully between illumination and shadow. The vast distances between stars are what make their twinkling possible. Even the color of the sky, the blue of daytime, the red of sunset, exists because light moves at just the right speed to scatter through our atmosphere in this particular way. As you sink deeper into your pillow, consider this. The photons now entering your eyes have been on journeys you could trace like epic poems. Some spent thousands of years trapped inside the sun, bouncing between atoms in a slow dance toward the surface before finally breaking free. Others have traveled across galactic voids, dodging black holes and nebulae, only to end their voyage on your retina. In this way, looking at the stars is literally touching them, with light as your fingertips. And when you dream tonight, remember that while you rest, light does not. It continues its endless work, carrying, connecting, revealing. The screen of your closed eyelids becomes a private planetarium where the afterglow of distant suns still plays. You are both audience and participant in this grand performance, where the very act of perception bends time, making the past present. The universe has been waiting billions of years for creatures who could wonder at its light. You are that wonder made flesh. Every atom in your body was forged in starlight, and to starlight you will one day return. This is not metaphor, but physics. We are literally made of star stuff, assembled by light's patient alchemy. The stars keep their distance. The light keeps its promise. And balanced between heartbeats are the universe observing itself. What will it see when it looks through eyes?
So now you know light has a speed limit not because it's weak, but because the universe itself sets the rhythm of reality. It's not just a rule, it's a compass, a boundary, a promise. Every ray of light is a time trap, a silent explorer of space, and every time we open our eyes, we see its patient journey. Sleep well, fellow traveler. May your thoughts wander as far as light can reach and reset rest in the quiet hum of the cosmos. Good night.